Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. Going to roll right out my back door, right up the road, right where Inside the Headset started, and right where, you guessed it, you know it, Behind the Lens with Stuart Montgomery. Been going on since 2009. But I got on the phone with me the head coach of the Blackman Blaze, head coach Kid Hartsfield. How you doing, Coach?
Hey, Stork, doing well. How about yourself?
Doing real well. Well, unfortunately, last Friday night, and you're sitting at 1-4, Coach, at the halfway point. But last Friday night, man, you ran into a really good football player. And talk to me a little bit about the Warren County battle.
Yeah, we knew they were going to come in and play well as they have versus us in Oakland the past few years. They played well versus us the past 3 or 4 years, actually. We got off to a little slow start and got behind, I believe, 2 or 3 scores early, and a lot of that was to do with C.J. Taylor. He gave us all we could handle, and broke a lot of tackles, made a lot of people miss, and ran the ball. I don't know how many times. It felt like 30 times for way too many yards. I think over 300.
Wow.
So he was.
So did it go?
He was a problem.
When you got the ball and then you went 3 down and out or whatever happened, and you gave them the ball, and where they ended up with it, were they getting the ball at fantastic field position?
No. Actually, one time we punted it and downed it inside the 1, and he still went down the field and scored.
Oh my goodness!
No, it was rough night for us.
Not that he's a one-man show, because he's got a line. I mean, his team has to believe in him and push your line around, because you don't have chopped liver out there playing.
Right.
They all believe. Let's not just start saying, "Oh, Warren County got good." The coach is a good coach. He's putting 11 guys out there, and they're doing what that quarterback needs to do. No different than they did for Sonny Gray, and I know that for a fact, right?
Oh yeah, they've been improving. A lot under Coach Turner with their size. You can tell just in warm-ups that they look like an improved program, and their kids played extremely hard. After rewatching the video, we didn't really get knocked around, but they got in our way just enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Taylor's a train. You got to stop before he gets going. Once he gets going north and south, that's when he's really tough to deal with.
Well, and like you just said, if a lineman knows that, look, all I got to hold him up for is 3 seconds, I don't have to make superior pancake blocks or whatever. Just like you said, if your job is just to hold the other guy for 3 or 4 seconds or move him out of the way, and you're telling, it can end up it can end up being brutal very quickly.
Yeah, and he's their leader, and I may have said it a few times, but he was the alpha male on that field, and his teammates and stuff believe in him, and once you kind of get that momentum, they did a good job of jumping out in front of us, and we had a chance to lay down, but we didn't. Was able to come back there, through the air on the passing game. Drew found several receivers, and Todd Lark and Mark Cooper, and
Todd Lark needed to get.
He caught a touchdown. So
Todd Lark needed to get worked in more. I was wanting you to try to get him worked in more at the Alcoa game, and so he did catch a couple of passes the other night.
Yeah, I believe versus Independence he had over 100 yards, and he had, I think, 150 versus Warren. So we're finding some rhythm on offense through the air. We got to find a way to establish a running game, but you can tell Drew and the receivers are gaining confidence in one another, and came down to the last play. We was able to get the onside kick and run a couple of plays and get within striking distance, and just missed on the Hail Mary.
Well, and you know what, Coach, and like you said, you shouldn't have been in that position to begin with. You're not being mean to yourself, but like you said, you give up a big run or whatever, and they break you back early in the first quarter, and then you get down, and now you're playing behind the chains, the clock, and everything else, and you got to catch up. And then once you get there, you got to have enough umping you to put them away.
Yep, and we just we got to get to a faster start, and really on both sides of the ball in this last game. We started a little slow on defense and offense, so
penalty wise,
we got to get off to a good start, so we're in manageable.
Penalty wise, you do okay. Penalty wise, you do okay.
Yeah, it was not many flags.
Good
throughout the game.
Injury wise, how are you?
Injury wise, I believe we're doing pretty well.
Okay.
Yep, I believe we're pretty healthy.
Well, you're going to have to be well because you got a good one Friday night. You're hosting.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to be there, and I'm going to run it on Stork Vision. I'm so pleased and so thankful you guys letting me come over and do it. But I tell you what, I've seen a little bit of them. I saw them play against Smyrna, and I saw them beat the stuffings out of Rockvale. And I saw about a quarter or a half against Franklin, and they're not too bad, and that's Riverdale Warriors, Coach Hartsfield. And tell me, you've seen what I've seen, but you gotta like the Holcomb kid. You gotta like the quarterback matchup you got going on. Between your quarterback and his, he's got two running backs, and your defense is really gonna have to stop those guys.
Yeah, no doubt. In all these big games around here, it's always, came down to really who can stop the run the best and run the ball the best. Most of the time. The passing game and being able to be balanced is still key, and Holcomb does a great job of, facilitating and managing that offense, distributing the ball. You can tell, he's always making the right decision. And Kennard back there in the backfield with that big offensive line. A lot of experience. I know.
Yes.
They were young last year. And
yeah, they were.
It's kind of the year they've been waiting on, and you can tell the physical development and growth of their kids and all their returning starters.
Yeah, and you just said it, and they got the Herring boys, and they're not too bad, and then they got C.J. Johnson. I mean, they've got a lot of good athletes on the field that know. And I mean, I'm not saying they're all SEC football players, but Coach Hartsfield, they're good football players on Friday night, are they not?
Oh yeah, if you look at their defensive front, it looks like. Riverdale 04, maybe even looks better and bigger. Chris Perkins and all those guys, and they look like Florida State again to me when they line up on the front seven on defense.
Well, and so have you been able to work another tailback in to help Andrew Hudson Jackson?
Yeah, Jalen Pleasant has kind of stepped up and been the.
And you knew it would happen. You said
guy.
It would. Yeah, you said it would. But and how's he doing?
They're both doing what good players getting better. We got to block better. I have really high expectations for our offensive line, but everybody's got to be right. For something to work, it can't be one guy making a mistake. So Pleasant busted a few runs the other night and. Did a fine job, and he's had a good week of practice, and him and Andrew both.
Well, I was talking to Coach McDaniel earlier today, and he said, kid will get it here in a minute. It just takes a little bit, and I've ran into it. Everybody runs into it, and it takes a little bit of chemistry, and he'll get it going. I mean, just right now, it's tough to gel right now when the situation is, and I talked to him, and he loads up all his kids and goes over at JP2. They all rode in cars. He moved 50, 60 kids from Christian Brothers High School and said, it's like a Pop Warner game, Stork. I just told them, y'all meet me at JP2 at 5:30, and we'll play football. It sounds a little nuts, but it worked.
Yeah, and no, that's, we've kind of done some similar things. I know he just travels a certain amount of kids. We've traveled everyone, but, half our teams been to away games in cars and half of them on buses. You got to have so much spacing, so it takes 6 buses for us to take buses. So, it's them road games are they're very different from anything we've seen before.
Coach, I hope I know we'll have a capacity COVID crowd. Did you give the normal 350 to the Riverdale Warriors as everybody's been given? I think that's the number we give to the opponent on a COVID crowd. What are you going to let him have?
Yeah, I think it's something like that. It's around there, whatever the visiting capacity
Yeah.
is with the spacing or whatever. So
Well, it's going
yeah,
to
I
be a
think
good
it'll be
game. You know,
maxed
this
out.
game has been this game has been built up as a rivalry. You know, and everybody doesn't kind of know what kind of got this game going on, but there for a little while, Blackman went through it was horrible, and then Phillip came back in '09 and we started playing, and A-Lot was over at Riverdale, and it became really the backyard brawl as Blackman finally beat Riverdale, and this thing started going on, and now it's gone back and forth, and and it's back over at your place, and I'm sure you'll be glad to be at home and on your own turf field and play this game. I mean, it's a special game. It's a special game for the kids.
Oh yeah, it's in-town rivalry. It's came down to the wire. The last
Yep.
few years that I can remember, and a lot of kids work out together in the off season, so they kind of know each other, and they tend to step it up an extra notch in these
They do.
in-county rivalries.
They do. Well, Coach, I can't thank you enough. We will do Behind the Lens from your house on a Friday morning, and we will be at the Inferno on Friday night. And like I said, just can't thank you enough, the faculty and staff administration of Blackman High School.
Yes, sir, Stort.
We will see you
Thanks for
Friday.
having me again.
We will see you Friday.
See ya.
See you. Bye.